Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. We're off with the first video of the year, and this was the final match of the games that I was playing this past Tuesday. And we actually ended up playing one match just to decide, you know, how it went for, you know, the best, just one single that you play in the finals here. And then we went and played two matches afterwards. I'm up against my man Ricky here, and he's playing the yellow LinLin. Yeah, we end up having a best of three. This turns out to be some really good matches, but I actually end up cycling out the Suru on turn one, and he'll go ahead and get putting down though, be able to take a look at the top four and pick up a little something. He looks like he had like a 7-cost LinLin as well as Sanji, and this is really funny. So he, whenever he shows a card, he always flips it over like that. And it was funny because throughout the thing, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see that on the camera. But he shows the 10-cost LinLin right there. And it becomes a recurring thing that we just laugh about throughout the game. So it was quite fun, actually. But sadly, having to trash two Sabos here, and I do get the... I do end up picking up the 4-cost Kuzan here. I'll go 6k into life. He will go ahead and take this, but does get up to the 4 Dawn mark. I prefer to go, you know, on the even curve here if I can, but I think we ended up losing the dice roll, so he did get to go second in this matchup. Definitely a little bit more beneficial for him, but I'll go ahead and counter out of the pudding swing here. I don't want to give him too many life too early. I know there is, you know, this way that you can go about the matchup just by going for multiple, you know, take every hit, and then eventually when they play the cards that affect life, it's not relevant because you have all of the cards, or excuse me, all of your life taken already, and then you're just blockering up the rest of the game. But I do get a little worried about Thunderbolt as well as the why am I forgetting the name of it? The 2 million bolts Amaru, and there it is. Thunderbolt coming down right there does take care of the Kuzan. Kind of unfortunate. I would have liked to keep that card if possible, but a 7k swing into brand new just doesn't want me to potentially defend it for 5, and he is gonna, I think, pass it over with 2 active, and yes, it sure does. Now we've got some... You know, we've got some opportunities. I normally would like to be playing 7-cost Borsalino at this point in the game, but I don't know if I'm really trying to do all that simply because, you know, my opponent hasn't got anything on the board just yet. Now, I'm just going to attach 3. I'm going to go ahead and swing 8. He does get a Sanji off of this, and I'll play another Kuzan. I just want to continue having this card on the board, and as long as he doesn't have 8-cost Katakuri here, we're looking pretty solid. And even if he does, we go back up to 4 life here, so pretty healthy, staying at 3 at the moment. I'm not that mad. And yeah, Sanji right there is definitely gone the following turn. So as soon as I'm swinging with Kuzan, excuse me, yeah, as soon as I swing with Kuzan and then use some other card to remove it, he is just going to take that opportunity to go ahead and attack with it. He doesn't want me to potentially get too much value out of it. I'll go ahead and take this, and now 8-cost Katakuri does bounce the Kuzan to the bottom of the life. Little unfortunate. I knew that if he was attacking with the Sanji and leader both for 5, that I had to expect it. Just a little unfortunate. I would have liked to potentially keep that on the board, but because I know the 10 cost is coming down the following turn, and if I let him get back up to 3 life, it's not the end of the world, but it's not exactly where we want to be. We pick up a Rebecca off the Kobe trash right there. I'm all right with that. Rebecca is going to be doing us some work with Kobe in trash as well as Hina, so not too bad, all things considered. I know we have Ice Age as well as the Greater Eruption, so I do choose to go Greater Eruption, though, to get Katakuri down to 6, and I'll go ahead and use Rebecca, resting the 4 Dawn, and I think we're probably just going to get back 3-cost Hina here. Yep, lowering it down to 2, and then probably just playing like Rob Lucci or something. Nope, bottom decking the 8 cost with Houndblaze, and then with the last 2 Dawn I can get down brand new. Do a little bit of searching, see if we find anything, and it looks as though we just find Hinas. I love when that happens. I'm like, what in the world? How is this real life? My greatest fear is, and it's happened to me multiple times, is when I play brand new and it finds like 2 brand news as well as 1 other card that I can't search, and I'm like, oh, well, that was fun. And I do counter out with the Tashigi here, but 10 cost Mom does bring him up to 3 life, and hasn't used leader ability yet to get everything set up, but still in a bit of a situation. We got to get through 3 life. We're looking good with the blocker up. We can definitely, you know, reblock up now as well. I don't have to pay too much mind to how many cards, or excuse me, how LinLin being on the board at the moment, because I don't think that his hand will be, you know, just the removal that he needs for the blockers. But I do get a -2 onto the LinLin here. I don't know if I was really trying to go for the removal. I was more or less just trying to go for, oh, camera's shaking a little bit. I'm not sure if something was hitting the table at this point. But I don't know if yeah, I guess I was maybe going for the removal. I have Ice Age, and I have the leader swing to be able to get it down to a 2 cost if I wanted to use Houndblaze. But I think I could just go for the Borsalino play here, and that'll work just fine. He does have 5 cards in hand though, so swinging 5. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna bring it down to a 3. So yeah, I am gonna go for the Borsalino play then, if this is how I'm going about this. Yeah, he does counter out with Beji, and I'll go ahead and use Ice Age. Oh lord, we're having an earthquake up in here. I think somebody, oh, is it Ricky's leg? Oh my god, it is Ricky's leg. It's moving 1,000 miles a minute. But we do get the Houndblaze. I'll go ahead and get, sorry, get brand new to swing 6 here. And then with 5 Dawn, we don't have Sabo in the hand, of course, because we unfortunately had to get rid of it earlier. But I'll go ahead and do 4 for Borsalino, and then 1 for that Mancherry there. And yeah, magnitude 4.0 earthquake going on pretty hard, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna work through it. Another 10 cost LinLin, unfortunately getting us down to 1 life here, but does bring him back up to 3. Now with Mancherry on the board, we are looking good. We're cooking. We're ready for Sabo. We're ready for just being able to block her up and then go pretty light at the life. Just hoping for, you know, minimal minimal triggers in order for him to get a few swings that he might potentially need here. I do end up trashing the Lucci, it looks like, and I have just Hina swing, brand new swing, Mancherry to pick up Sabo, you know, something along the lines I feel like is just going to work out the best for us. We'll be able to dwindle down the resources in hand and not really have to worry about the LinLin too much because of the amount of blockers. And I guess I'd already used, had I used Borsalino? No, I haven't used Borsalino at this point. So, I mean, there is the opportunity that I try and go for a Borsalino play. I don't believe I have another Ice Age, because I would more than likely need to have the other Ice Age, but I'll go ahead and use Mancherry. I am going to return 2 events to the bottom, and it looks as though we're just going to pick up, I would imagine, oh, interesting, I'm going to pick up Hina. Okay, so we are going for a removal of the LinLin here. I'll go ahead and go 5 with Borsalino as well. Unfortunate Thunderbolt there does get rid of my Rebecca. Makes me wonder if I should go for life now after this, but using the Hina, we're going to bring it down to a 5 cost here, and I'm going to use another Hina to get it down to a, I believe this makes it a 1 cost, but go ahead and use Kobe, and now we have no active blockers, but I know that he won't have the ability to use the rush card if he does have it at this point. Okay, well, I guess arguably he could have, like, what's that card called? Could have a Nell, which would be kind of interesting. But 7 cost LinLin with 3 cards in hand. I believe we just trash here and go for game. Especially with Mancherry on the board, being able to bring back a lot of our blockers. I'm just taking a look at my trash really fast as to whether I want to take this, and I do choose to trash it. And I don't think we draw into anything really interesting there, but I'm definitely thinking about how do I need to go about this to get the win. I have, you know, obviously some plays to get back a blocker or two. Using Mancherry, I could get back Rebecca and then play Borsalino. More than likely saves me from dying this turn, but I think I just want to go for it at this point. I'm just gonna go 7. He does get the Veggie right here, which stops my leader swing, which is very unfortunate. I'm not ecstatic right now. Trying to figure out how can I go about potentially winning still. You know, with 3 cards in hand, I feel like since he knew the Veggie was there, or maybe didn't know the Veggie was there. Yeah, that was placed by 10 cost. I'm just gonna go for 7. He does counter out with 2 cards though, and now I know that I'm not gonna be able to go for game this turn. I'm a little bummed out at myself. I'm like, oh man, I might be taking the L here. Kind of unfortunate. But Mancherry, oh, I'll just go 5. Oh, snap. 5. Oh, and he plays the, he could have baited me, but now I get the game with Mancherry, going for 5k swing with Mancherry on that last little bit right there. And that, you know what, that is a way to take a win. If you're going 5k with Mancherry, you know that you're doing things. Okay. Well, we end up taking the first win, and that gives us the 3-0 for the day. It did come down to arguably just a mistake on LinLin's part there at the very end. Could have potentially baited me into playing a blocker and then going for game, but I think I was going for game regardless. I think I didn't have the ability to survive after the Veggie play came down. I'd already wasted too many Dawn. But going into game 2, this whole series ended up being really fun. There was a lot of moments where I felt like, okay, if he hasn't been seeing too many triggers, we're looking okay here. But as soon as that Thunderbolt came down on the Rebecca, I was like, uh-oh. My plans of safety have gone, and I think we're just going for it at this point. But he will counter out of the 5k swing with Brule here. I think I'm just considering getting down Hina and just putting down like a 5k body onto the board. Oh, actually, I end up cycling out Hina. I don't know if I have... No, yeah, interesting. I think I would have... I don't know. I wouldn't have hated playing that card right there. It usually does get KO'd eventually anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. But I will take it. I end up getting a Great Eruption off that. I don't want to use it personally. I'm not really feeling the... I'm not really feeling using the trigger just to get him to trash a card. Like, you could argue that it's helpful, but I want to try and get Pearl off the board, but also establish... my own board. So if we have Kuzan here, if we have oh, I end up cycling out Rebecca. If I have Borsalino here, I really like it, and but I am just gonna bring Pearl down, potentially going for just a Lucci. Yeah, I just don't care. I'm like, go ahead, get a card, it's all good. I'll just return the 3 to my trash. And I didn't see what he picked up there, but oh, I think it was another Sparrow. Yeah, and that's me laughing again, just from what I was mentioning during the first match, is like him having the way that he shows the cards. It's always pretty funny. But Thunderbolt on the Lucci, I was a little interested in this because he does get to use leader effect here now, and gets Lucci off the board, but can decide what card to put to life. Does get a new one up top. So I more than likely have that Sparrow that he just picked up off the previous turn sitting there waiting for me, looking pretty. And I think this brings us up to 7 Dawn this turn, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we should be at 7. Yes. And now we'll go 8k to life. I know that he's gonna get more than likely Sparrow out of life here. And yep, there it is. Just to choose a card to trash though. Which one is he feeling right now? And I think he's just looking it over, thinking about, you know, what he's not really gonna need. It does end up going with the Brûlée there. And I'll just go 4 for Kuzan. Get to pick up a card. I don't know if we've cycled yet this turn. Maybe. I think I did, actually. And now I'll probably just end up passing it over. Yeah. Or... Oh, no. I just realized I had the... Yep. I was about to say. I was like, wait a minute. Am I about to cycle? I was like, I usually will put the dice on my leader if I'm trying to remember whether I had cycled or not. So... I was waiting. I was like, uh-oh, in anticipation to see if I would. 6k swing with Sparrow. I will counter out. He's going to play a 7-cost LinLin. I do choose to let the life go, though. I don't hate it, but I don't know if it was necessary. With 4-cost Kuzan on board, we can still like maintain pretty healthy board, as well as getting rid of a lot of what he's got going on. I do go 5, I believe, lowering the LinLin to 6 here. Considering what I'm going to do, I got Greater Eruption to draw a card. Just taking a look at my trash. I could get Lucci back, but I do go another Greater Eruption onto LinLin, so that's gonna be down to a 4-cost. Going Kuzan swing here. I think I haven't really effectively done this turn very well, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe not the way that I was hoping that it would turn out. I guess I'm thinking about bringing back Lucci, maybe? I am going to use Rebecca here. Or maybe I just didn't want to swing with Kuzan. And no, I actually choose to bring back Hina, bringing LinLin down to a 0-cost. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to bottom deck that and swing into the Sparrow. Unfortunately, giving him an extra card here, but yeah, it is what it is. And now I'm just gonna go like really big into the Pero, just get it out of the way. He does pick up 7-cost LinLin here, and I'll go ahead and pass. We are down at 1 life though. It's kind of scary, because all he needs is a little bit of Thunderbolt or Amaru action, and he's looking pretty good. Yeah, and I do choose to cycle there, and I'll go ahead and pass it over. But now, with leader effect and being at 10 cost, we know that it's either going to be 10 cost Big Mom, or it could potentially be leader effect into 8 cost Katakuri, 7 cost, all that good stuff. Sadly, does get the Big Mom down, getting rid of my Kobe. Kobe would have been nice to keep up that turn if possible. Having Kuzan does give options though for getting rid of LinLin. It's just it's a matter of, do we have the removal in hand? I'm gonna bring this down by 2 cost, and now I definitely need to establish some blockers this turn, but I also really just want to get rid of this card so that he doesn't have much to work with. It looks like I cycle here, and I think I end up just picking up an Ice Age. Yeah, Ice Age isn't gonna do me all that much. So I go 5 at life though, bringing the leader down to, or excuse me, bringing LinLin down to a 7 cost. Luckily, no trigger there. I know that I'm kind of really just banking on him not getting a trigger. I do go 5 with Hina, and now I'll go 4, bringing this down to a 3 cost as well. He is going to counter out of these. I think that any trigger card right here would have more than likely just won him the game. So I was very pleased with this situation. But now I am just going to play the Mihawk, and I'm just going to kind of take a gamble here and hope that he doesn't have the removal. And this is hilarious. So he swings 5, and I'm like, oh, thank God you didn't have Thunderbolt. I was like, because if you had Thunderbolt, I was dead right there. Like, there's just no way that we win. And we end up talking about it, and he's like, oh, are you kidding me? He was like, wow, how did I miss that? He did. Had Thunderbolt in hand. But yeah, he you know, he was just trying to be a nice guy. He was trying to be a nice guy, give me an opportunity to get back into this game. And you know, that's just the kind of homie that Ricky is. All right, he's always looking out. But yeah, we both had a pretty good laugh about that. and I'll go 5, bringing in LinLin down to 6 right here. He's just going to take this. No trigger for him, unfortunately. It does look like his hand is pretty bricked up. I think he's got like 1 2K counter, potentially 2 in there. But just a lot of 7-cost moms chilling, doing their thing. And I know that I have 10 Dawn to work with. I can get rid of this LinLin, but it's probably not in the way that I want to. So I am just going to go 9 to life. He's going to be forced to take this one for sure. But I'm like gambling right now, basically, that he doesn't have Thunderbolt in life or, you know, some other swing. And luckily, no bingo. And I'm happy. So I'll go ahead and bring down the LinLin to a 1 cost with Ice Age. Do have 9 Dawn to work with. I'm just going to go ahead and it looks like bottom deck that. Yeah, just bottom deck that with Houndblaze. Or am I considering going a different route? Because I think I could just go for game here if I wanted to. I guess I'm just thinking of what I like better. And I'll go ahead and bottom deck it. Yep. Now, leaving us with a few Dawn, I could swing 9. And now I do go for the 9k swing here. I'm like, do you have the counter in hand? He does. He's got 2 Satoris and a pudding to get to 10k. I know that there is a chance of us being able to win if I was to swing lead and swing Rebecca, but I chose not to. I actually was like, I don't really think I can afford to give you a trigger here. And woe is me, it ends up being the death of me. He uses Amaru and rests the Borsalino here and uses Thunderbolt to KO the Rebecca and swings the rest into life. Takes game 2. Kind of crazy because he almost threw that game like completely by not using Thunderbolt, but it ended up working out for him in the end. And I think that I could have went for game if I had just maybe went like 5k with Sakazuki and then throw the rest onto Rebecca and go like, I think I had 7 left if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I had 6, but that was a pretty big gamble. I felt a lot safer being able to put down the Borsalino, but just had the right cards at the right time. And now going into the coveted game 3, I'm trying to, you know, keep this set in the win for me. So I choose to take 2nd place, and he picks up Thunderbolt and shows it. It was just kind of funny that we had played 3 games. Oh man, yet again with the brand new searches, doing me dirty right there. 2 Mansuries going into the trash, also cycling out the Kobe, but picking up a Suru and I believe a 7-cost Borsalino, if I'm not mistaken. But hand is actually kind of correct. I have 7-cost Borsalino as well as 9-cost Mihawk, and I love to see that. Love to see that in this matchup. Just being able to remove a lot of the board, but also just keep having a very healthy hand and being able to block her up as well. I'll go 3 into the pudding. No way he saves this, right? 3 into the pudding, and then more than likely just 5 into life. Yeah, it's going to let pudding go, though. 5 to life, and get down the Borsalino so we have some established blocker. Love to see that, because depending on whether he attacks into brand new, we could protect it. You know, if we see a 6k swing, I could always just rest the Borsalino, and I'd be happy with that. Just depends on how much I value the brand new at this point in the game. And I guess I value it enough. I'll go ahead and block and use the Suru. I wanted to apply some pressure this match and then get down 7-cost and 9-cost, you know, as much as possible, as quickly as possible as well. And so I'm going to be very aggressive, just going for the Greater Eruption and into the Houndblaze there, beefing up the brand new. I got 3 Dawn to work with, but I'll go ahead and swing 6 here just to see what he's got going on. I'll swing 6 lead. No, maybe just 5. Yeah, maybe just 5 to the lead, and see if he'll give me a card. He does not. Luckily, he doesn't get our trigger. I'll go ahead and do 6 with Borsalino as well. And then playing brand new, I find another Houndblaze, but I also find, I believe, a 2k counter. So I was just kind of looking over my hand, looking over my trash, like, what am I working with? What do I have for the rest of this game? and I do choose to take the Hound Blaze. I'm just being really aggressive. I don't need the counter power right now. I'm like, if you go for Borsalino, you get it, whatever. I'm not sweating it. I got 7 cost to put down the following turn, as well as the 9 cost to come down right afterwards as well. And now he will get down the LinLin. I'll go ahead and trash a Luigi. Little unfortunate, but not really necessary at this stage of the game. So yet again, not sweating it that much. If we have a Greater Eruption, or if we have a... Oh, we do. Yeah. Or Ice Age. We're getting down Borsalino as well as getting rid of this LinLin, which is absolutely fantastic. And he does choose to take this 5k swing, which makes me happy. And he actually uses Beji on the brand new. I think that he thought I was going to be going for another Hound Blaze after I just revealed that I picked it up. So... I'm actually going for the Borsalino play here, so getting the 2k out of his hand for free there actually felt quite nice. And since he used it on brand new, I was still able to get a Borsalino swing as well. Not too shabby, all things considered. And yeah, we just go ahead and pass it over to him. He's got 9 Dawn to work with, but 6 into Borsalino isn't going to cut it. I'll just go ahead and say no thank you. I'll block that out. And now we've got the easiest play of my life. I'm just going to go 5k into life and lower down Katakuri to 7 cost. This is going to be the beautiful 9 cost Mihawk coming down here and just getting rid of that Katakuri. Everything he's put onto the board has just been dealt with. This game just felt like we had everything on curve. Felt really nice. Every answer that we needed. Looking at his hand, he does have, I think, like 2 Thunderbolts, but we're not in range to be KO'd or dealt with here. So he's looking kind of rough at this spot. You know, you could play 7 cost LinLin, but I am happily just going to trash the life. If you got 10 Mom, that's probably your best option, if I'm being honest. 10 Mom is more than likely just going to be the best thing you can do here. I don't know if those were 2k counters that he had. Maybe they were the Charlotte Amandes, so he might have a little bit of counter power, but yeah, I don't know. In this situation, oh, it looks as though he does have the actually have the Rush Katakuri card, so he could very well just play that, and he does. Gets to look at his life, reorganize that, so it gives him a little bit of information, but I don't know. I don't know if he, yeah, 9k swing here into the Borsalino. I think I just choose to let this one go. Yeah, I don't have the counter power for that necessarily. Pick up a Kuzan off of life. He does use leader ability though to swap out that last life of his. But unless it's like Beji, I'm pretty certain we just go 9k here. Thunderbolt's the brand new, and now we'll just attach the rest, and we take game 3. Super solid matches though. These were a lot of fun. I think that the yellow matchup is very challenging sometimes, just because you're just worried too much about like what they could potentially have in their life. But you just gotta swing. You just gotta swing. You gotta hope for the best, and you know, establish your board so that you can answer what may come out of life. But I had a lot of fun, and Happy New Year's again to everybody. Looking forward to playing some Purple Luffy matches this week, and probably tonight actually. So I'll be getting some recordings of those, and I'll have them coming up shortly, y'all. And I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.